Well, studio, we welcome to the program Don McVea, National Federation of Independent Small Business, the director for Mississippi and Louisiana. Don, how's it going today?
Hey, it's going well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We've been talking this morning about something that I'm sure you're starting to hear from some of your members in the small business community, and that is it seems like that inflation thing is creeping up again because the price of energy is rising, and there doesn't seem to be anything in the short term that's going to put a stop to the increase. And that, of course, is included in the price of just about everything that comes as an input into small businesses. What are you hearing?
Yeah, our folks are sensitive to that. They've told us over the past, in particular the past 6 months, it's kind of been a 1 versus 2 of inflation versus, labor being their top issues. And, you've seen the price of gas slowly creep up, and it just, to your point, it affects everything from the cost of getting goods and services in to operations. And so, our folks are sensitive to it, and feel like that's not the way we really want to go into the Q4 of this year. That might be what we're facing.
Yeah, we were trending in the right direction, and then it just seems like we're so beholden to foreign production that, and they know that, and they know we got to have it, and there's a breaking point in there. But right now, they've seen fit to reduce output so as to increase the price, and of course that increases their profit. We're all paying for that essentially, and that is being felt throughout the economy, and certainly small businesses are not exempt from that that impact, no doubt about it. What about the job market? I mean, that was kind of the major focus, I guess, fair to say, the last couple of years. That seems to be moderating a bit. What are you hearing there?
It does. Mississippi is enjoying a very low unemployment rate, which is, a blessing and a curse, right? The low unemployment rate means there's just fewer people, also means that there are fewer people in the job market. And really, that's our biggest challenge right now is getting qualified workers to come in, apply, and come to work. And I'll tell you that, in the biggest industries that are reporting that, the challenges with the workforce availability is construction and manufacturing.
Yeah.
The folks, it's about 35% of positions that are available are for skilled labor. So those are potentially, good paying jobs that remain, available with no folks to fill the jobs. So that's still been a challenge. We're really, seeing our members are telling us that, they've had to, whether it be adjust hours of operation or, that sort of thing to kind of keep up with the number of staff they have versus, being able to stay open,
Yeah.
That's been a real balancing act. And so they're really telling us that they are missing some opportunities for sales based on the fact that they're not having enough workers. Really, the fact is that consumer spending hasn't really slowed. And
right.
So that's the interesting part of the whole dynamic as well. You have, these threats or this feeling of a recession coming, but then you have things like, the labor demand and the consumer spending suggesting otherwise. So it's interesting times for sure.
Yeah, so there's a report in the Wall Street Journal this morning, not sure if you've seen it, about Walmart paying new store workers less than it would have 3 months ago, short 3 months ago. And I think primarily this concerns hourly workers. Is this something that also sort of finds its way into the small business community as well? Do small businesses maybe see that as an opportunity to be more competitive when they're competing with the likes of Walmart for workers?
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's definitely been a factor. The pay ranges for small business owners have been creeping up. We've talked about that in the past few years, since COVID's been kind of tapered off and people have been back to work. So really small business owners had to do that. We have seen that level off, the increase, those planning to increase wages, that has leveled off somewhat the past few months because, again, now the focus is not so much on finding workers because they're almost giving up on that. Really, they're wanting to invest in retaining the workers that they have.
Yeah.
So, and making those adjustments as they need to. So, yeah, you see that. Although we did have a pretty strong report from owners saying they plan to raise compensation in the next 3 months. So I think what they'll look at is obviously we will roll it into the holidays. So you'll definitely have people who are going to want, from the retail side, you're going to have folks who want to, pay folks to be sure they stay on board and work those hours. And then, again, with construction and manufacturing, you can't do all the things you need to do to build more houses if you don't have folks building the one house, right? So I think that you'll definitely see really a focus on investing and retaining workers right now.
Lots of reports I'm sure you've seen across the nation, primarily in the big cities, the big suburban areas, I should say, where shrinkage is becoming a problem, and it's shrinkage due to theft. You've probably seen the dollar stores. I think it was Dollar General reported significant decrease in gross margins specifically as a result of that. They cited. Are you hearing about that in the small business community? Is this a problem in Mississippi and Louisiana?
I'm not hearing a ton of it, but I'll tell you, we did take a proactive step in Louisiana, not last year, but the year before. Not this past session. We're getting to the end of the year, and it's all kind of blurry. But last year, we passed a piece of legislation in Louisiana that I thought was proactive in the sense that it basically said as a statement of the state, look, if you're going to try to do that sort of thing and come in and be intimidating and conduct this kind of activity, you're going to face higher penalties and higher criminal penalties. And so it's a higher fine, it's a higher penalty, criminal penalty against folks who come in, more than one person, intimidate a store clerk, walk out with, and shoplift and burglarize the store. So I think that measures like that go a long way. If the state, as a state, can set that policy and be sure that folks know that this is the policy of the state and we're not going to stand for that, that's the right type of environment to create to protect small businesses from that sort of thing.
Right. As you said, we got the session getting underway here in Mississippi in January, just about 3 months away. Anything you guys are focused on specifically for the next session?
Well, we're really excited to kind of this upcoming election. I think that if we've made a round of endorsements. We'll be announcing a few more potentially, but we're excited about the leadership of the state and where that stands, and we hope that it continues. We're excited about the pro-business legislature that we have in Mississippi. Yeah. And what we hope to see in the next 4 years is more work on what they've accomplished in the past 4, being smart about, whether it be a full-out elimination of income tax or a continued reduction of that. Yeah. We know that Mississippi is experiencing wonderful surpluses, which, again, those are taxpayer dollars. And so what we really have to look at is how are we running the state? Obviously, we're doing a good job at that, so let's see where we can make cuts while still funding the needs of the state. We don't support, going after the budget and taking it down to a point where you can't operate. Mm-hmm. But if you can find the right balance of cutting those taxes or eliminating other taxes or doing progressive tax policy that will get us, in a way that we're competitive, which Mississippi's on the road to doing, certainly passing Louisiana up in a lot of ways. And so, we're excited about that. And we hope that everybody will come in January and really work together to continue pushing forward.
Yeah, totally agree. We've got to focus on growing our economy. It addresses all of our critical needs and issues and just makes our state a better place to live and work, raise a family. Dawn, always appreciate you coming on and talking to us about everything. Take care. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, we'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great one.
You too. We're coming right back.